New year, new set, new everything. You're here to be a better artist. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to draw because I haven't got to that level yet of being a master to teach. But what I can tell you and give you are the tools that you need to start art this year, pretty much. To level up in digital art, I'm going to give you websites you can use. I'm going to give you tools that you can get. I'm going to give you love and attention. So let's start. First step is the programs, okay? You need a digital program to do the digital art. So that's what I'm here to teach you. There are plenty of options out there. The big juggernaut is Adobe. Now, Adobe has been under fire for a lot of horrible, greedy things, but you don't have to go for Photoshop. I started with Photoshop. I'm still on Photoshop because I'm a lazy bastard that doesn't want to learn a new program because he's too comfortable, but would save money by not being on Photoshop. I would legitimately save so much money by not being on Photoshop, but one day. There's plenty of other programs that you can use. Personally, I also use Procreate on the iPad, not nearly as much, but when I need to go somewhere, if you've got an iPad with an Apple Pencil, which will come in the tools part, you can get Procreate. But it's still expensive because you need to have an iPad and an Apple Pencil, and so I'll teach you other ones. You don't want Photoshop, and you don't want to grab that Photoshop. I mean, you could get it for like $30-40 a month, but if you don't want to do another subscription, which fair enough, there's plenty of them, I would recommend Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint is a really well made program for digital artists where the learning curve isn't too big now. It used to be a lot bigger. It used to be a lot harder to figure out the program, but now it's gotten a lot easier. They've got a lot of tools for references, for perspective, for setting up your scenes. It started off as like a manga creators program, and now it's just become its own beast. It's got 3D models that you can import in. It actually is a better program than Photoshop, in my personal opinion, when it comes to creating art, but I've just got to bite the bullet and move over. So Clip Studio is the number one spot, in my opinion, if you are to start digital art in 2025. Followed by Corel Painter. So Corel Painter is more for the what I'd like to say traditionalists that want to go into digital painting. It's got a lot of realistic brushes in that, and it's not a bad program. I've used it before briefly, not as much as Clip Studio and Photoshop, but that is a great start. These are your options that you can pay. I also forgot to mention that it's a one-off. You pay it and then that's it. For Clip Studio Paint and Corel. There are free programs that you can use. They're very limited, so if you want to do it to just start off, you could definitely use Autodesk Sketchbook and Krita. So those are your options. Do with them as you may. We're going to move on to tools now. What you need. You've got the program. You've chosen your program. You've chosen it. You've got your program. You've got it. You got it? Got it. Cool. Tablets. Tablets are your key element for digital painting. You can use a drawing pad, which is basically a pad that you put down. You've got a digital pencil like this, and you draw on the pad, but you look at your monitor. So that's one of the options, okay? I had a bamboo Cintiq, which is the first tool that I ever drew on. It was about $200, I think, at the time. I can't remember, it was that long ago. And you kind of get the hang of it pretty quickly. I then moved on to a tablet, a screen. I got the Cintiq. It was 16 inches, I think. It wasn't too like crazy in screen size, but it did the job. It did the job very well. I've got to say, every tablet that I've had has done the job. At the moment, I've gotten off Wacom because they're a little bit expensive, and I'm on the Huion. But that's not to say that Wacom's bad, and that's not to say that Huion is bad. Or XP Pen. There's so many tablets out there, you need to find what's right for you, and the best way to find out which tablet works for you the best is to find out what you're willing to put up with or what you need it for. So I don't use any sort of tablet shortcuts. A lot of screen tablets have controls on the side, and you can basically shortcut like undo or click for the erase sign, so on and so on. I don't use that. I've got a keyboard, I've memorized the shortcuts. This is why it's hard for me to get off Photoshop, because they've tattooed the shortcuts into my brain. And basically I don't think of that as a feature that I need. Some people think that they don't even need a screen, so they use the Bamboo or whatever's the equivalent now of a drawing pad, and that works perfectly well for them. It's each to their own, but keep in mind that the more elaborate you get with the features and the bigger screens you get, the more expensive it's going to be. So if you want to start off small, I would actually recommend the drawing pad just to start off, to get used to drawing digitally and not have to commit to all these expensive products. You pick a free program or a cheap program like Clip Studio. You pick a cheap tablet for about $100, $150, drawing pad, and then you just start drawing with those two things. That's it. That's all you need. And a computer, obviously. You need a computer to connect all that stuff. But
I felt like that was self-explanatory.
If you don't have a computer and you don't want to spend thousands of dollars, I'm sorry. You can actually connect a drawing pad to a laptop, but find what you've got. If you don't want to go this whole route of buying a tablet, buying a program, buying a computer and all this stuff, you can go the other route, which is the iPad and the Apple Pencil. Now it depends on the type of iPad that you want, but you can get a program on that called Procreate. Procreate is what a lot of people use. It's a one-time purchase, and you can basically do what you can do on a drawing tablet, on a computer with Photoshop and Clip Studio, but on an Apple iPad, and take it wherever you want. So like I said, there's different avenues you can take. So this is a choose your own adventure. I'm just giving you the adventures. All right. So you're sitting there in front of your table with your setup. You've got your program. You've got your tools. You're ready to go. But you open the internet and you just type how to draw, and you fall into this video. Where do you start? This is the problem that a lot of people face when it comes to learning how to draw on the internet, which is why courses are great. But there are plenty of avenues that you can find and cater. It just takes a while for you to figure out which way you want to go, and I'm going to show you how. All right, very simple. We're going to start with inspiration. Where can you find inspiration to do art, to create art? I feel like I don't really need to say this, but I'm going to say it. You got Pinterest, you got ArtStation, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called. You got Blue Sky. All these places where artists post art, it's inspiration. So that's done. Then you can use websites like Pose Maniacs. Pose Maniacs is a website that has these 3D models that are pre-made into poses that you can use for references. You can move them around, change the lighting, and so on. If you've got Clip Studio comes with a model, but you have to pose it yourself. I'm not entirely sure if there are pre-built models. I'd assume there are. I feel like it's weird if you have to learn how to pose a model first, but there's tools like that too in real life. You can buy those little figures that you can pose and take photos, but now you've got them on the computer for free.
It's free real estate.
One of the websites I like to frequent every now and then and practice my figure drawing, it's a good way to learn, is Line of Action. Line of Action is a website that's got a bunch of photographic figure drawing models, that's what they're called. figure models where you basically get a photo and it acts as if it's a figure drawing class. If you don't know what a figure drawing class, it's when you get a model to stand in front of a class or a group of artists and they pose and you draw that pose. You can move around and find the angles. This is to just help artists understand the human body a lot more and how muscles look when they're in certain poses. And these models are professionals. So yeah, you can get that in the comfort of your home. You don't have to go to a class, even though I would recommend that. But you can go on that website, Line of Action, and there's a bunch of photos there, and you can time it so that it's like a normal class. So at first they do 30-second poses, and then it's a minute, and then it's 2 minutes, and then I believe 10 minutes. I can't remember. But it's a good way to practice. So that is a very good website for people to practice their figure drawing on. I would recommend that. And next one is... This one's a cheeky one that I use. I use a cheeky one. It's not AI. Don't use AI. I like to use a website. Basically, I use Adobe. It used to be called Adobe Cooler. I can't remember what it's called now. They've changed the name. But you can get a lot of websites. There's one. Let me see. Color Supply. You can go into Color Supply, and basically what you do is you pick your color that you want. Let's say it's red. And you put it in there and it gives you the complementary colors, the basically all these color schemes that you can then translate back into your art. So you don't really have to understand color theory so much, but you can start to learn by using this. It's like eventually, as the more you learn it, the more you're like, okay, orange goes well with blue. It's a complementary color. Complementary. So that website is primo useful. Another one that I like to use is I like to see fellow artists that I take inspiration from online, and I like to see if they have a Gumroad or if they offer a course. Now this is a lot more expensive, and I only recommend this if you 100% can commit to a course. But Gumroad helps with the fact that it's not hundreds of dollars and you can sort of pick what courses, what videos you want to do, and just find your favorite artist. I started with fellow artist Trent Kaniyuga. He's awesome. He worked on World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft art was a massive inspiration back in the day. Now it's changed a little bit, but finding Gumroad and finding those tutorials there was a game changer for me. So basically, the world is your oyster. The internet is here to help. I hope I've given you a bit of a narrower path instead of just going on the internet and typing in how to draw into ChatGPT, and then that tells you. So I hope this idiot made your life a little bit easier and made it easier for you to hit your digital artist goals in 2025. We're going to be doing a lot on this channel, so I'm teaming up with another artist and possibly some more on creating some fun art challenges, and it's going to be probably one of these talk to the camera videos a month, and then the rest is just going to be a mix of stuff. I want to include more Warhammer. I want to include more, because I have been painting. I've been doing well, so I want to include all of this fun stuff and basically find out where this channel fits. So bear with me. I'm going to be changing this background a fair bit. So you're going to be seeing some new stuff. You're going to be seeing some new me. And I also will be streaming on Twitch and YouTube on Wednesdays. So catch me there. You can see my schedule on twitch.tv/redunitink. And time to sign out. See you guys. Have a very happy new year. Enjoy 2025. Let's just be a bit more peaceful this year. Thank you very much. Thank you.